Okay, team, let's talk about trade plans because it's very important that when we come in each day that we are taking what we understand from the pathway and translating that into action. The way we do that is through a daily trade plan. So what is a daily plan? It's a way of going after this thing that trading is hard, but it's simple. I mean, part of getting to consistency is doing consistent things. And one of those ways is to have a daily plan. That plan is going to include, at the bottom, we see review and potential scenarios. So there's a review portion. How did the auction do? Which way is it attempting to go? How good of a job is it doing it? How is it likely to play out in the next session? We're going to try to mitigate emotion in trap games. Not that emotions can be removed, but we want to have them in their proper place. It's going to help us identify needed adjustment. Where did we see the auction well? Where did we not? What levels did we see that were in play? Which ones were not? And the plans are subjective and open to change, meaning that very rarely will you have a perfect plan, but what it does do is it primes your brain to be able to adjust as the different scenarios play out as the day goes. Now, this is one iteration of the plan. We're going to look here at a different one here in just a second, but I show this just to call out the idea that everything that's on these plans is related to one of the modules of the 16 modules of the pathway. So, everything that we're doing conceptually there, we're rolling it up into what informs a plan. We're not pulling that out of the ether. And as far as products that we look to cover, we've got 4 core products that we're looking at: the ES, the NASDAQ, the Russell, and the crude that we identify for our intraday directional futures trading. There are other products as well that we may look at, whether it be gold, Bitcoin, soybeans, euro, others that we see on the quick sheet. But those 4 are the ones that we really want to look at. And the other part the reason I like that is that we have both mini products and micro products that we can express that. So depending on your capitalization level, you can still play along with us, which is awesome. Why these products specifically? Aside from there's obviously high correlation between the equities, although the ES and the NASDAQ are very correlated, the Russell less so, and then the crude is inversely correlated to the equities. So we get a little bit of a breadth. If one's moving in one direction, it gives us an opportunity to look at something else. There's good daily opportunity in these products, meaning that if we're patient and we wait, we can find a good intraday swing opportunity, most likely. They are liquid and popular, meaning that we don't have to worry about getting locked out or not being able to place a trade. These are products that we can be active in. And while we're looking at these 4, know that the plan process is the same for any product. So, if you want to express it in an equity product or, some other European future, Asian future, whatever, auctions are auctions. So we just use these as these are highly popular futures trading vehicles in the United States, but you could easily apply these to the DAX, FTSE, CAG, anything else that's out there that you want to express risk on. The idea really is taking what we understand from the plan, from the pathway, and expressing that in a plan. Now, let's talk about accessing the plan, shall we? So when we start, if you go to the website, you can go and actually go right to the login. That'll take you to the hub. And then if you are logged in, I'm currently, I need to log in here. So let me log in to make sure I can access everything. And then I will go down over here in the sidebar. You can see the daily outlook. And then here is the specific plan. You can see I'm not logged in, so I need to log in so I can see that. And then now here is the plan. So there's some broad comments about just the overall markets and the conditions that they're in. And then we look at the specific VIX curve. The VIX curve is a way that we can measure auction direction and quality, specifically in the SPX complex. You'll see that this is a tool that we look at day in and day out to find the macro turns in the auction based on where people are positioned, buying puts, selling puts, dealers' response to that, and so forth. We look at specific catalysts that are out there, any other key references around, and then the specific trade plans. So to get to those, you click on the button, and then this will bring up a PDF with all of the plans for each specific product. They're color-coded, so you can always kind of see where they are. And these plans have similar features to them. So we have, kind of key stats that we look at, that these are helpful. Like if we're looking and saying, hey, we've seen, 80% of the expected range. Where is that number coming from? It's right here in the stats for the week. You can see there's a review section and then there's a plan. Okay. And the review section talks about, what was the close? What was the relative volume? So this is volatility, but relative volume. You can see in this day it was pretty high. Where was the range relative to its expected range? It was high. The cumulative delta also, what kind of day type, where was value related to that? And then what's happening? This auction is attempting lower. What are the key levels and what are the scenarios are played out? And then over here we have decision levels that are areas that we look to express potential decisions as the sessions play out. So if I go over here onto this chart, these levels are already imported. So you can actually import these levels straight from the plan via the cloud levels indicator if you have Edge Pro or MotiveWave. And then they are ready for us when we are active in the next day. So that's how we access the plan and have ability to reference that as the session goes and have the same process every day of a review, what took place, and then what are the scenarios that we look for in the day coming ahead.